Don't think for one moment, just because it's July now instead of June, that you are any less valid, than you are any less heard, and that you are any less loved. I love you as much now as I did on June 1st, and you can shine as brightly as you did then. Okay? Kimmy loves you.
It's really simple at this point. I see rainbow colored hair, your opinion gets rejected.
Can you answer for me this very simple question? What is a woman?
Well, of course, I can't answer the question anyway. A woman is a female, and the female is defined by the gene she has, essentially. She has 2 X chromosomes if she's human normally, and that would be the definitive.
We finally have a sane human being that can actually give us the definition as to what a woman is.
Do you see this person next to me? E is my friend. C has had to put up with a lot to get to where Per is today. I just want to let Glint know that Thon is valid, that verb pronouns are valid, and that Sarah identity is valid.
This person is totally normal.
With me to go to FurryCon. This is my first time going to FurryCon, and I am jumping with joy because there's going to be so many cute bakas there. There's also going to be so many other kittens there, and you guys know I get super territorial when I see other cute kittens, because it's not fair. I need to be the cutest of them all. I'm also super excited because there's going to be so much free cat food and kitty treats, and you guys know I love to eat my kitty treats. And since I'm new to the furry world, I'm super excited to see all the other furries in their new fursuits.
People need to help me in the comment section down below as to where we went wrong as a human race, because I don't know what in the blue hell this guy is doing.
I mean, if you ask me if I would feel like really safe if I was sitting in a room with a bunch of men that I didn't know, I probably would feel a little bit uncomfortable.
Would you feel more uncomfortable than if you were in a room full of bears?
No.
Do you think you would be safer if we snapped our fingers and all men in your city became bears? Just replace them with bears. Like, let's say you're at the club with your girls and it just switch, all the men become bears.
You're just throwing it back on a bear now.
Yeah.
Okay, like in a city situation, yeah, with the men.
I don't know if the bears are going to roofie us.
I just don't get, like, if your choice is bear, why choose to live in cities which are occupied by hundreds of thousands or even millions of men? Why not go into the woods or forest with bears if you really genuinely feel like bears are safer than men? My conclusion on the whole bear thing is, I mean, at least my analysis, you can't really understand it rationally or logically. I think the bear choice is simply social signaling about how much women don't like men.
I've come to the realization that women have been psyoped into believing nonsense such as being with a man is more dangerous than being with a bear. I would take them more serious if they all gathered themselves, went to a forest, built a civilization around bears in the forest, but they don't do that. This same woman saying she'd prefer to be with a bear than a man is also the same woman who's in the room with strange men that she doesn't know, has more than likely went home with men that she doesn't know, but apparently she'd prefer to be with a bear than a man.
I'm upset.
Louder!
I'm upset.
Louder!
I'm upset.
I had a terrible experience with dog talk. So as everyone may know, I'm transgender and I'm really afraid of dogs. I feel like there should be no instance where a service dog should be allowed anywhere, especially on a Delta flight. I felt like I was being attacked because the dog kept staring at me and growling at me because I was trans. This was the message that I sent to the customer service representative, and look what they said back. They're not able to refund me, and I just wanted a flight credit, and they ghosted me. And the dog was growling at me for so long, and he made me feel like I was not in the right body, and I feel like it was a transphobic attack. He was trying to tell me that I was not a woman.
This has to be satire, but at the same time, I really wouldn't be surprised if this person was being for real.
Trans women getting pregnant is not as far off as you'd think. In the past 10 years, 50 babies have been born from a uterus transplant. How this works is a person with a damaged or missing uterus gets a new uterus. Then they get pregnant, then they give birth to a child via C-section. The implanted uterus is then removed so that the person doesn't need to be on anti-rejection meds for the rest of their life. So far, these implants have only been attempted on cis women, but there's nothing that says it couldn't work on a trans woman. After all, my hormone levels are pretty similar to a cisgender woman, so why not? The main thing in the way is that the science is new, so there aren't enough surgeons out there to do the testing. So it's less about if we can do it and more about when we can do it. Imagine a trans woman using her own DNA along with her partner's egg to create life. Wouldn't that be incredible? Some researchers think it's already possible and that it'll be attempted in the next year or two. Now, to be clear, I don't want kids. And even if this was an option, I wouldn't be interested. But there are so many trans women out there who want this, and they have just as much of a right to pregnancy as anyone else. Let's get this thing off. Oh. See, it was fake.
Hang on, don't all shout. Ernest, let me ask you this. If I now identify as a black man, am I a black man?
Why are you conflating race with gender, Pierce?
I'm just asking you a question, Ernest.
That's intellectually dishonest.
If I identify...
That's intellectually dishonest.
Maybe, but it's a question you don't want to answer, isn't it? If self-identity is limitless,
because
I'm
race
now
is
a
not
black
the same
man
as gender.
called Ernest.
Because race is not the same as gender.
Am I a black man if I say I'm a black man?
Say it again.
Am I a black man
Listen,
if I say I'm a black man?
Can be...
Am I?
No, because you're a white man, because
Thank you.
it's race.
So you don't
because
respect
race is not
my
the same as
rights
gender.
to identify as a black man, do you?
Here's, you can identify as whatever you want to identify as. Don't listen to this bigot over here telling you you can't, because I myself identify as a white woman and you should be able to identify as a black man if you want to.
When you guys go out, who usually pays for the dates?
Do you even have to ask?
So I'm assuming it would be him.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's a safe assumption, unless you knew Stacy here. Yes, very confident, demanding. So she makes me pay for everything. Yes, you're right.
Under what circumstances do you cover the bill?
Never.
Why is that?
Because I bring my value.
How do you bring your value?
By being myself.
Okay.
And entertaining this man.
Yeah, we're having a great time.
How do I bring my value?
What do you mean? If I get invited or if she gets invited, that's probably the difference, right? You know, if she invited me out and she said, I want to take care of you, then she'd probably pay for it. But I think when we go out and I've invited her, then we'll go out and I'll pay for it.
I mean, I wouldn't hang out with a guy that didn't pay.
Okay.
I just wouldn't, I wouldn't be attracted to a guy. It's not like it's all about money. Like, we have to have a great time, we have a good friendship, inspire each other, be there for each other, but there's a lot of people in the world, and...
You want to be spoiled. You want to be taken care of.
Absolutely, because I bring my feminine energy to the table.
We all know if it was a man to say the exact things this woman just said, there will be total uproar amongst everyone. But of course, in today's day and age, it's easy for women to say this to men and there be no questions asked about it.
What are your pronouns? What do you identify as?
I'm he and they because I believe that we shouldn't be put in a box.
Oil painting.
I'm he, him.
Got creativity.
She, they.
There's depth. There's all that sort of stuff.
And I'm a white woman.
No, just $20.
$20?
Yeah, for this video that we just shot.
How's it
He
going?
needs to pay me $20 for the video that he just took. We'll totally take you right now.
I spend money on your OnlyFans. I don't have 20. I don't have cash.
Spend any money on my OnlyFans.
How do you know that?
Okay, so we were denied boarding. Myself, my 16-month-old son, my mother. They took our luggage on the plane, which has my thyroid medication, which I'll be very sick without, my mother's medication. They basically said tough luck. And they won't tell me exactly what I said, but what happened, and I will tell you what happened right now. I was speaking to one of the flight attendants, got their pronouns wrong. The other flight attendant didn't like it. I said, I'm really sorry. I'm not very versed with pronouns. I was holding my son. He was having a temper tantrum. I had the car seat on my back. I wasn't really focusing on anything except getting my son's car seat on the flight and getting him comfortable and safe, and him, because now it's his nap time. You can see he's kind of fallen asleep. They're saying that like it's a hate crime that I did, that I might not even be able to ever fly United. We don't even know how we're going to get back today. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what my rights are here. I think that it's...
If people don't begin to realize it, but these people will cut you from being able to get to certain destinations because you don't call them by their parents' appropriate pronouns. But hey, they're loving and understanding and inclusive.
Because I'm more private on the public.
It sounds like it matters to you.
Would you believe her if she even told you what it was? If she said, my body count is 2, would you believe that?
Multiply it by 3 and that's the real number. So, let us assume for a second I wouldn't. Don't you think that it's rather suspicious
if a person says that body count does not matter, but then when asked, they say, I don't feel comfortable sharing it. It sure sounds like they think it matters, right?
Yeah. Or maybe it doesn't matter so much that they don't care to share it.
Well, then if it didn't matter so much, they didn't care to share it, it would matter so little that they wouldn't care to not share it either, because it doesn't matter. That's what doesn't matter means. If it doesn't matter, then that means it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
She's apparently private, but her body is public.
I am gender neutral, so I am not a female nor am I a male. I would be in between. So right here would be my pronouns. So instead of she or he, you would refer as Z. Instead of her or him, you would refer as zer. Instead of her or his, it would be zer. Yes, in the back.
So I'm sorry, I'm confused. Are you Mr. Darren? Miss Darren?
No, I am teacher Darren. There would be no Mr. or Mrs. in front of that, just teacher Darren.
I'm confused.
What are you confused about?
I'm confused over the whole thing.
Why do we have to learn this?
Well, because this is how the world is changing now. So the world progresses and we progress with the world.
How about we stick to teaching kids things that are relevant in life?
Men more likely to be manipulated through sex.
Oh, yeah. Men only think about sex, so they're very manipulated.
Women dominate it.
So then why aren't men protected from emotional abuse the same way women are protected from physical abuse?
Because men are idiots.
No, emotional is worse. No. Emotional is worse than physical.
It is.
So then if emotional is worse than physical,
yes,
wouldn't men deserve protection more than women?
They would. They should.
But they're not smart enough to fight for it.
Truth.
Ah, yes, they don't care about men, and apparently men are idiots when they're manipulated by women. But of course, if it was to happen on the opposite end, they will cry victim.
My husband and I have removed the bottoms of all of our shoes. We decided to start walking barefoot, and one of our followers had a great idea. Since some businesses don't want us being completely barefoot, if we cut off the bottom of our shoes, it'll allow us to be barefoot but blend in with everyone else. This is a huge commitment, but we were willing to make it. These are our favorite shoes. Our shoe collection is worth more than $20,000. But this is a sacrifice we're willing to take because walking barefoot means the world to us. The benefits of walking barefoot are priceless, so now our shoes are worth more than money could ever be. So today we got to work and started removing the bottoms. We weren't sure if this was going to be easy or hard, and it ended up being pretty easy. We made little shelves where our toes are and our heels are. We made a little lip on the bottom of the shoe where our toenails will go so they can latch on, so we'll actually be able to hold on to the shoe while trying to walk without the bottom. And we did the same thing for our heels. The experience of cutting off the bottoms of our shoes was very freeing and detoxifying, just like walking barefoot is. So after we cut the bottoms off, we decided to try it out. So we went to our favorite store, Sephora, and as you know, they don't really like us in here without shoes. I needed to grab a few things for a trip we're going on. The experience was absolutely perfect. The workers came up to us, they talked to us, they even complimented our shoes. I definitely recommend this if you're trying to go incognito barefoot. It's the perfect way to get all the benefits of going barefoot, but also have no one know.
Yep, we are completely duped.